This is Common Sense Radio. Straightforward and no excuses.
All right. Come on now.
This is the Steve Gruber Show.
Call me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
What I said was perfectly right and spot on accurate.
Boy's got a mouth like a cannon, always shooting it all.
Stop.
Got it.
Yeah, stop. I mean, you're way off script.
Got it in me. Gonna quit until it all comes out.
Hey, boy!
Long education.
Yeah, you know, it's not cynical. It's common sense.
Pay attention to me when I'm talking to you.
I'm gonna rock the nation. Rock the nation.
Genuine, accountable, and raw. Here is Steve Gruber.
All right, and welcome to it, my friends. It's the Steve Gruber Show. I appreciate your support and appreciate you stopping in for a conversation today. The hotline number, Common Sense Hotline, is 888-900-9966, 888-900-9966. And we're going to go to the hotline now. That's because Dustin is on the line, calling in from Aurora, Wisconsin. Dustin on the line in Aurora, Wisconsin this morning. Welcome aboard, Dustin. What's on your mind?
Hey, Gruber. This is Dustin A. King in the land of the blind. The opium pirate is king, not right next to the oil man. It's perfect. Powdered alcohol, right? My kids, they go to school, they get hit with tailgate parties. Before they're even in high school, junior high, tailgate parties. Come on, what's the subliminal there? The Pied Piper, its master.
All right, Dustin, I greatly appreciate the call in today from Aurora. So, are you? I guess you're against powdered alcohol, then?
I'm just saying the chemistry, man. I mean, come on. Malcolm in the Middle's dad becomes the king of meth. I mean, you know what? Hollywood is so sick. The Pied Pipers there and their little snake charmers, you know, and Popeye and the kings, the knights are anointed in olive oil, you know, and it's all because the Popeye owns all the corporation countries, the Holy See, the throne of the Vatican. The only member of the United Nations that is a throne. I mean, it's pretty sick. I mean, you look into pirates and who won the Opium Wars, and China flies that crown,
Oh, yeah.
the Iron Cross, and then Google, when they find out I'm searching this Iron Cross crown in China, they decide to clean Google of all pictures of that Iron Cross.
All right, Dustin, I can't quite figure out if that was a yes or a no. Can't quite figure out if it was a yes or no, but anyhow. The hotline number is 888-900-9966. You see, it's all here for your entertainment. It's all here for diverse points of view to discuss them and sort them out, even if they all come from the same brain. 888-900-9966, 888-900-9966 is the Common Sense Hotline. For those in Aurora, Wisconsin, check on Dustin today, would you please? Let's see. What do you look at me like that for? I don't think he's necessarily wrong about everything. I'm just not sure what he's right about. I'm just trying to figure it all out, just trying to sort it out. Ivy's giving me the look. I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. Shifting gears. The State Department was among the worst agencies in the federal government protecting its computer networks while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State from 2009 to 2013. A situation that continued to deteriorate as John Kerry took office and Russian hackers breached the department's email system. That, according to independent audits and interviews, the State Department's compliance with federal cybersecurity standards was below average when Clinton took over, but grew worse in each year of her tenure, according to an annual report compiled by the White House based on audits by agency watchdogs. You see, this isn't going away. Hillary continues to come out and blast Trey Gowdy and others who are part of this Benghazi committee investigating what went on there that led to this whole cybersecurity cesspool, creating all these issues and problems and challenges, and for her to try to blame others for this homebrew server there, that just doesn't fly. Here's the other thing. These IT companies, the one in Denver and the one on the East Coast, they're not going to back her play any further, you see. They're not going to back her play any further because they're done with They have companies protect. They have themselves protect, and the FBI is investigating them as well as to what their situation is. So, make no mistake that these folks are going to step up. These folks are going to step up and defend themselves and their companies. They're not interested in protecting Hillary Clinton. They're going to be interested in protecting their own well-being and their own homes, their own families, their own, they had to protect themselves, and that's what's going to happen, and that's what's going to happen going forward. Hillary Clinton is on the hot seat. What's the date today? She's on the hot seat. What day is it? The 23rd. So maybe that's next week. She comes in for
Thursday this week.
Thursday. All right, there you go. Thursday. She's on the hot seat. Thank you for that. So she'll be in on the hot seat. Also, check this out from Barack Obama. This is typical. This is typical is the way the government operates, especially liberal government. The government is always there to help you out and protect you. The Obama administration is now offering coal country $14.5 million, excuse me, in federal funding for programs to retrain out-of-work coal miners. Now, you heard me right, $14.5 million to retrain coal miners that have been put out of work specifically so Barack Obama can keep his campaign promise. Thousands of coal and mine workers let go under President Barack Obama. Now, critics hammering the president for throwing money at coal miners that his regulations have, forced into the unemployment line. After years of working to fulfill his campaign promise to bankrupt the coal industry, which he's, coming pretty close to, the president has the audacity to claim he is revitalizing these communities, says Tom Pyle, president of the Free Market American Energy Alliance. President Obama's destructive agenda has robbed coal communities of their jobs and their livelihood. Now he wants to be commended for throwing taxpayer money at the problem that he actually created. And this is so typical. So typical. The government does something asinine, creates a problem like this, and then comes riding in. We're the government. We're here to help. Obviously, there's chaos. There's problems. Come on, Trigger. Let's save these people. The best horse. That's the best I got. You like it?
I thought it was great.
He's liar. At any rate, the government creates the problem, then comes riding in with money they've stolen from other taxpayers with handfuls of money saying, we're here to help you. What a problem. How could this ever happen? Oh, it's just awful. So the government creates the problem and then creates the illusion that they're there to help you by picking your pocket even further. On the day when we learned that the federal government has taken in $3.3 trillion in revenue, the highest level ever, $3.3 trillion in taxpayer money, still going into debt, deeper every day, creating problems, and then telling you how great they are to come and try to fix the problems that they created. It gives you, it's a Chinese puzzle is what it is. They create these vast spider webs of problems and then come in and try to clean up the mess. And they try to do it with your money, of course. That's government at work. And the good news, the Democrats want more of it. They want more government to help save you and look after you and your family. That's just great news. Under Bernie Sanders, we got the single-payer system, and it'll all just be kumbaya, unicorns, rainbows, hugs, kisses, and love. 14 after on a Monday.
Delivering Michigan common sense with a big dose of truth and honesty.
Well, a young man ain't got nothing in the world these days.
All righty, welcome back to it on a Monday. We're going back to the hotline. We've got Jennifer on the line this morning. The number for you to call is 888-900-9966. Jennifer, welcome to the program.
Call people out there that think this administration is so hot and so wonderful and representing them. Wait until these coal plants close. We have 9 in the state of Michigan that are going to close. I can't afford my electric bill now. Electricity will triple in cost. You won't be able to afford to keep your home warm. But remember, we paid for the heat and the air conditioning at the White House. You know, these politicians, we don't need them anymore. They are nothing but a yes stamp on what this administration wants to do. And he is destroying the country. And I don't understand what in holy hell is the matter with people that think that the Democrats and some Republicans are so great. Anybody that stands against the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and is willing to import illegals in this country by the truckload and plane load, they're destroying everything. I am so angry.
Where do you live, Jennifer? Where you live here in Michigan?
Michigan.
Correct? Yeah. And we're going to close 9 power plants, 9 coal-fired power plants.
9 power plants. So you tell me how they're going to replace. We're going to have blackouts, outages like you wouldn't believe. They're not equipped. This alternative energy, remember Solyndra?
Oh, yeah.
I am so angry. I don't know what in the holy heck is the matter with people that'll go listen to that claptrap that Hillary Clinton is peddling. And it doesn't matter the party. It matters the person. It matters what they stand for. And as far as I'm concerned, every damn one of them needs to have a lie detector attached to their finger when they're giving a speech.
Jennifer, I greatly appreciate you on the Steve Gruber Show. Jennifer calling the hotline at 888-900-9966. Jennifer, if you're still there, let me ask you one quick thing. What would you do to solve the problem? What would you do to solve the problem, Jennifer?
We're going to have to really investigate these people. We can't depend on the newspapers. The newspapers have been bought and paid for. They have an agenda, too. In all honesty, Steve, I don't know. We fly by the seat of our pants. We investigate these guys. We listen to them. Maybe we should make them sign a contract when they go. Maybe they should only receive a minimum salary while they are in office. The rest of the money put into escrow, and when their term is up, if they've done a good job, then they receive their money plus a bonus.
Maybe, Jennifer, they should receive a minimum sentence when they leave office and not a minimum salary when they're in office.
They have elevated themselves to royalty. They've given themselves so many perks. They have no idea what it's like to be out here where the, quote, common people are, how hard it is to earn a living. The jobs are non-existent. The pay is not great. Not anymore unless you're in the higher echelon. Maybe people in Washington and New York live high on the hog, but you take the rest of the nation, we're scrambling, we're struggling. A gas and light bill to me is horrendous. I'm stretched to the limit to pay my rates now. What am I going to do when it triples?
Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Jennifer?
Oh, well, I guess it comes down to either you stay warm or you put 20 sweaters on and you eat, or you don't eat and you stay warm.
Yeah. So that is, we've heard from people telling us they're going to be rolling blackouts in Michigan starting next year.
Yes, there are.
May I ask you,
all kinds
Jennifer,
of blackouts, and it's because of this administration and the agenda that the Obama administration has. And you've got no one up there defending the people. What have we got? We've got Debbie Stabenow, big whoop, crash for clunkers. Oh.
Let me ask you a question, Jennifer.
Kildee, who is a relative of the other do-nothing Kildee.
Let me ask you a question,
and then we've
Jennifer.
got the other one.
How old are you? How old? Hold on. How old are you, Jennifer? How long have you been here in Michigan?
I'm 80. And I'm so damn mad I can't see straight. And I don't understand why the people are so complacent. I understand the fact that they're out there. People are working. They have jobs to go to. So a lot of this just kind of skims over their head. But, so many bad things are going on now. It's kind of hard to ignore them. I mean, they kind of hit you in the face.
Yeah.
We've got illegals coming into this country by the busload, the truckload, the plane load. Michigan has, you've seen outbreaks where now we have whooping cough and measles. Well, wouldn't common sense kind of dictate to you all the plane loads of kids they brought over here from foreign countries with no medical checking to see if they come in with a disease or what have you? You know, you're going to have a lot more outbreaks in the medical industry, too. Our kids, our health is at stake.
Our future is
There's
at
so
stake.
many things.
Yeah.
You know, since this man has been in office, I feel like a puppy in a cage. He keeps poking me with a stick. And I've got so many wounds on my body, I don't know which one to protect first. I just wish that we had somebody to represent the American people. And I like Ted Cruz. I love Donald Trump. Donald Trump has brought so many things out into the open that they would not normally discuss. But these are the guys, they'll publicize Donald. But Ted Cruz, how many newspapers really stump for him and tell you what he's doing? He's been fighting the fight for a long time.
Jennifer, I have to leave it there. Great call. I appreciate
you.
your passion. I appreciate the fact that you love this country. That's what I appreciate.
love the country, and my heart bleeds for the people. You know, ignorance is only acceptable so long. Wake up, people.
It's the Steve Gruber Show on a Monday.
Taking a closer look at the stories that affect you most with a big dose of common sense.
All right, it's 33 after the hour. I don't think anybody's going to top Jennifer this week on the phone lines. The passion in her voice, the conviction of what she believes, her concern for this nation, for her children, for her grandchildren, for her neighbors is genuine and honest, and it's to the core of who we are as well as Americans, frankly. We're going to go to the hotline one more time, then we're going to get on with Mike Hughes here in a minute and talk about, take a couple of distractions into Hollywood. But first, Mr. Clip on the line. That hotline number, by the way, 888-900-9966. Welcome to the program. Mr. Clip, are you there?
That's Staple Clip.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
From Project Paperclip.
Right.
Yeah, Benghazi. I played EVE Online with Ambassador Stevens. He was an ambassador in the game. And this is a game like World of Warcraft, but with players from all over the world. 80,000 people logging in till he died. Then the membership went down to like 20,000 because people realized, oh, man, we're getting played in here like real life. He's an ambassador with all these corporations in the game, and he's an ambassador in real life. Except Ambassador Stevens went by Vile Rat. I'm Mr. Sock It To Me. I happen to be a grandchild of Project Paperclip. Woke him up to a bunch of stuff on my Facebook, Sean Blaker, and next thing you know, he's dead. And I think he was catching on to some stuff, and they were cleaning up, a loose end.
There's
Not really sure why I'm still talking.
Well, but you might not be. Well, they're not going to shoot you on the air. They can't do that. The answer is, though, there might be some truth to that. Why else would you leave the guy hanging out there? They could have gotten the fast strike crew in from Italy in time, and those questions have been out there for a while. So, Mr. Paperclip, I appreciate the call this morning. The other thing is there was some belief that he might have been involved with moving guns in and out of places like Syria. And maybe they didn't want that discussed in the light of day. So there's a lot of those conspiracy theories out there online. And I didn't used to give a lot of, credence to conspiracy theories until I've watched this administration for 6.5 years. And then you start to go, now, wait a second. Maybe there is something to this and to this and to this. Anyhow, thank you for calling in. The hotline number is 888-900-9966. It's like a real life version of the Black List. In some ways. Mike Hughes here to talk about television, by the way, and what's new this week. Mike, welcome to the program.
How you doing? We got to lighten up some because you've had some heavy calls here today.
Yeah.
So
hitters.
Let me say something light and cheerful for a minute.
All right.
Today is Monday. Monday nights, honest to God, right now are the best night on television. They're just a can't-miss night. You can be crabby the other 6 days of the week, but watch TV tonight. First of all, Big Bang Theory's on for a couple more Mondays, and of course, that's the best comedy on TV. CW's got these really interesting shows on Monday now. My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Jane the Virgin. They're unusual shows, but they're surprisingly good, especially by CW standards. They're at 8 and 9. But the thing is, the thing we talked about a couple weeks ago, Fargo is on the air, 10 o'clock Monday nights on FX. Honestly, this is the best new show of the season. You've only missed one episode if you missed last week. Don't worry, you'll catch up right away. There's 9 more episodes, and it's just a great show. So settle back, watch some shows tonight, make sure you watch Fargo at 10 o'clock, and you'll be happy again.
Well, and people that listen to the show, and I know my brother thinks I should turn in my man card for this, and I don't care what he thinks about that. But, I do... a place to go hide and recollect my sanity from time to time is in music, and I do enjoy watching The Voice. I'm not gonna kid you one bit. The whole family that watches this program, and how many shows are left out there, Mike, where you can sit with a 3-year-old, a 10-year-old, and you and your wife would sit there and say, you know what, nothing bad's gonna happen here. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna sing. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna do that as a family until it's bedtime, of course. Not a lot of programs out there left to do that.
Absolutely. They're into the battle rounds now, too, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock tonight on NBC, then just an hour, 9 o'clock tomorrow night on NBC. So it just makes it fun. Like we say, we know guys can watch it because Blake Shelton's on it, so we know that. And also, we know it's sort of legitimate, because remember last year when the local guy, Josh Davis, got all the way to the final 3, and he was not one of these cute little teeny American Idol people or anything else. Very legitimate, serious singer. And the fact that he got that far just proved that this is a reasonable show. It's a show with decent singers. So, yeah, go ahead and watch it. All I'm asking you is this. You finish watching it at 10 o'clock, switch over, watch Fargo.
And that's what we have to see. All right. So, and then Fargo's where again? On what?
It's on FX channel, the same one where you watched, like, Justified before, American Hero, and so on. So, American Horror Story on Wednesdays, stuff like that.
The one that I still haven't found again since they moved it off from A&E is, what's the Wyoming show? Here I am.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. And
drawing a complete blank here. Longmire. Yeah, Longmire. There you go.
Longmire. And you can catch it anytime. Once you get a Netflix account, actually all the episodes for this whole season are there. So that's the beauty of that. You don't have to panic and say, "Oh, I missed it."
Well, no, I have good news. Ivy just raised her hand across the studio and says, "We have Netflix." I didn't even know. See, Mike, I didn't even realize.
So there you go. You can watch that anytime you want it. Just wait someday when you were going to go outside on a weekend and it's raining. Just watch the whole season.
Well, right, and having lived in, I went to college in Montana, some friends of mine, I still have good friends that live in Montana and Wyoming, and that's what I liked about that program, honestly, is it was true to life about the way people live on some of these ranches and in small towns and back. I mean, when you talk about the middle of nowhere, literally, 25 miles from nothing is what a lot of these places are.
And I like the way they build the characters around that. These are people who talk a lot less, and they're just kind of, they talk in the easygoing kind of a Wyoming ranch kind of a way, and it just makes it interesting to see them tackle murders and life and so on.
No question. So, all right, give me a must-see for this
I can tell you 2 things to see for sure. Wednesday night, I want you to watch the show called Nature, just because they're starting a 2-part thing where they take household pets and watch them with hidden cameras, and it's really, really fun to watch what they are and how much they're like their old days in the wild. That's 8 o'clock for the next 2 Wednesdays on PBS. But the other thing is Sunday night, Simpsons has its annual Treehouse of Horror show, and it's just really weird, 3 really weird stories, and a lot of fun this year. So definitely watch those too.
All right, Mike Hughes, my friend. Thank you for that. Thank you for waiting.
Okay, have a good time.
There you have it. Mike Hughes, he had to... Well, let's be honest, Jennifer was worth the wait. Jennifer calling in this morning was worth the wait, and the conversation we had with her here on the program, and Mr. Clip, also worth the conversation that we're having here. And that's why we encourage you to call in, 888-900-9966. And let's be honest, sometimes you have to take a little bit of a deviation. And you know what? Mike Hughes, the distraction, that just made me think that, Joshua Davis from Michigan, heck of a performance last year on The Voice. Let's just take a little trip down memory lane. We'll be right back on the Steve Gruber Show.
Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together. I've got some real estate here in my bag.
Michigan, born and raised with Midwestern values and Michigan common sense.
45 after the hour. How bad was it? Well, in 10 seconds, the whole college football world went from one extreme to the other in 10 seconds' time. It's so bad, in fact, that one local television station in West Michigan broadcast that Michigan had won the football game. He probably should have waited that last 10 seconds, because in 10 seconds, a redshirt freshman, Jalen Watts Jackson, had picked up a mishandled snap on a punt and run 38 yards for a touchdown into the end zone, and that was that. Michigan State wins in an improbable victory in the Big House. Tim Staudt here, the Dean of Sports, and Tim, that's why they play the games.
What the West Michigan station there, when I heard about that, what is it? That like Dewey beats Truman, something like that?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you might want to wait till the final tally is in, just saying.
Yeah. Well, it was that kind of a day. There's a lot of wild stuff going on. You're right.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what do you make? Here's the thing. I saw a lot of people on social media, Spartan fans, afterwards saying, well, now Michigan State will get the respect they deserve. Michigan State didn't move in the polls. And a lot of analysts, whether the Spartan fans like it or not, still believe Michigan was a better football team on Saturday, except for one really incredibly blown play at the end. I mean, your Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback had an average day. A lot of drop passes. Kings put a lot of balls in the carpet when could have made a difference for Michigan State. How did you see the game overall, except for the last play?
Well, I've been watching football, more than 50 years, and I don't remember ever watching a game in which the winning team at no time ever led when the clock was running. From the time it started to the time it said 0-0-0, everything in between, the winning team never led. But if you win under those circumstances, it's your day. And I thought when it came down to the last series of the game, I thought Michigan might want to consider, and it's easy to say this after the fact, but I thought Michigan might want to consider throwing a safe pass for 3 or 4 yards to its tight end to get a first down to kneel down. Otherwise, they're going to have to punt. And anything can happen in that situation. Did I think the guy would fumble it in the air to a guy going into the end zone? No, I thought the worst it would be was Michigan State might get one shot at a Hail Mary or even a field goal try if worse came to worse. I mean, look, ESPN came up with some projection that said that was a 0.2% chance. If those stats are accurate, that means 998 chances out of 1,000. There's no way Michigan State's going to win the game. When I saw it myself, I didn't believe what I saw, to be perfectly honest. But I just said, there's sometimes in your life, the older you get, you got to be dreaming about this stuff that you didn't see what you saw. So I went back and tried to think of all the incredible, bizarre finishes. And Michigan State's had a lot of these through the years between the Cotton Bowl and the Hail Mary pass at Wisconsin and Spartan Stadium. The one-of-a game there a couple of years ago during the year before the Rose Bowl. I mean, they've had some games like this before, but this one tops them all. In broad parlance, that's the greatest loss I've ever seen. I've often thought a lot of times games are decided by how you lose it more than how you win it. And for that to happen for Michigan State, Michigan had to contribute to that, which in my mind makes it an incredible loss, which it was.
So okay, so
win too.
So we're incredible both ways, and Spartans remain undefeated. Michigan 5-2. But looking at their schedule, let's start with the losing team. Looking at their schedule, they could certainly be 9-2 by the time they meet Ohio State. I think that's a fair assumption at this point. They could go through the next. I mean, they start with Minnesota next, and then on from there, right? Rutgers, I think, is on their schedule. They could do okay in the next 4 games and be 9-2. Does the Michigan squad stand a chance against the Buckeyes?
Well, I'm not sure they're going to be 9-2. I think they're going to have all they can handle in a primetime game at Minnesota. That Minnesota plays very well in those games. Minnesota's capable of virtually anything. I think it's going to be interesting to see the way Michigan gets up off the mat. What's amazing for Michigan is that Michigan had that game won with 230 yards offense, which most games you only get that much offense, you're going to lose. The only reason Michigan, in my opinion, Michigan had the game won was because the special teams play of Michigan State was abysmal, and for Michigan it was very good. It was going to get decided on the special teams play. But I think Michigan has still got some offensive issues. I think the game at Penn State is very dangerous for Michigan as well. And I think those are games Michigan can win, but I think those are games Michigan can lose. And then once you get to, so no matter what happens, getting to the Ohio State game at Columbus, I don't see any way Michigan could win that game with 230 yards offense. I've thought all year long that if plays fall Michigan's way, they can have an incredible year without the quarterback or without the offense that Harbaugh's going to have long term. And I still believe that he is going to have to get more of a prolific offense because his defense, frankly, I thought, and his special teams played well enough to make that so that it would not come down to the last play. But even in the last series, he couldn't run 3 downs there and get a first down against kind of a deflated team a bit because I think everybody in the stadium knew this game was over. But he didn't get a first down because he didn't quite trust the way he was going to have to throw it to his tight end.
And what about
the rest is history?
Yeah, and what about the Spartans? We got about a minute left here. What about the Spartans going forward? How do you see? I mean, a lot of people talked about them matching up with Ohio State being 2 undefeated teams. Still the way you see it?
Well, I think they have a very tough game in Nebraska coming up in prime time. I mean, they've had trouble with everybody they've played. There's one game they put away that if everybody's, wow, this one's easy. I mean, they're going to have a hard time. I think they're going to have a hard time at Nebraska. Before that, that's a night game. Nebraska just went on a road on the Nile with Minnesota, and that's still Nebraska. I'm going to guess Nebraska's better than Rutgers, and Rutgers took them right to the wire. Purdue was going in to beat them, so I'm guessing that game's going to be tough too. Look, with state special teams, the way they're playing, they got a lot of work to do to get. I think they'll have enough to beat Indiana, and then they get a week off. And then they got to go to Nebraska, which is probably a good break for them because they're going to need to play well to beat Nebraska on the road, in my opinion.
All right, well, there you have it. The Dean of Sports, Tim Staudt. We'll watch them both closely. A spectacular loss is the way he put it. I think that's right, Tim. Thanks for stopping in.
All right, no problem.
There you have it. Tim Staudt, everybody, right here on the Steve Gruber Show on a Monday. A spectacular loss. That's one way to put it. Like the Titanic was a spectacular voyage type thing. Anyhow. It's 51 after the hour. If you'd like to chime in one more time before we go for the day, the hotline number is 888-900-9966, 888-900-9966. This hour brought to you in part by Wheat Jewelers. You can get all your Spartan stuff, by the way, and celebrate the big win. WheatJewelers.com. Kevin will take care of you. Find all your special Spartan jewelry right there. WheatJewelers.com, statewide. Back in a moment.